Well, we begin this morning in Puerto Rico, where Hurricane Maria will go down as one of the deadliest natural disasters in U.S. history. The official toll went up dramatically from 64 to 2,975. That's more than the 1,800 who died in Katrina. The new numbers come from researchers at George Washington University who say the government was inadequately prepared for a direct hit from a Category 4 hurricane. A white former police officer found guilty of murdering an unarmed black teenager will likely be sentenced today in Texas. The verdict against Roy Oliver came after 2 weeks of testimony and 2 days of jury deliberation. Oliver admitted he shot into the passenger side of a car filled with unarmed teenagers, but said the car was headed toward his partner and he was trying to protect him. But video from the former officer's body cam showed the car driving away. And Mother Nature is at it again in Wisconsin, a state of emergency in several counties as riverbanks are overwhelmed by heavy rains. Dangerous storms wreaked havoc across the Midwest, from strong thunderstorms in northern Illinois to Michigan, where crews worked throughout the night to clear down trees and power lines. This as temperatures soar in the Northeast. The National Weather Service issued a heat advisory through Wednesday night from Virginia up to Maine. The United States Department of Agriculture says the first payments to farmers and ranchers hurt in U.S. trade disputes will go out next week. That money will go to producers of soybeans, wheat, corn, cotton, dairy, hogs, and sorghum. The USDA has authorized nearly $4.7 billion for this first round. Soybean farmers will get the largest share, just over $3.6 billion. China has levied a 25% tariff on soybeans, among other U.S. goods. Farmers can apply after their harvest is 100% complete. The government will use another $1.2 billion to buy food and redistribute it through food assistance programs. As much as $12 billion has been authorized for various programs to help farmers offset losses from the trade disputes. Turning now to fire watch, as 12 wildfires burn in western Montana, many of the eastern side of the state are breathing a sigh of relief that fires have not threatened our land and homes this season. But experts say don't get too comfortable. Montana fire season is far from over. The Bureau of Land Management says all that record snowfall this winter and our overly wet spring did help keep our fuels green and resistant to fire. Still, research shows fire seasons across Montana and the country last longer and become more extreme each year, forcing our local firefighters to travel for work.
They're still out working. We've got some more people are on their way out to assignments now. People just coming back in. A lot of our fire qualified personnel haven't spent a lot of time home this summer. They've been out doing their job. It's just that they've been needed elsewhere rather than at home this year.
And Stage 1 fire restrictions will stay in place throughout the Labor Day weekend. Meanwhile, on the Fort Peck Reservation, several law enforcement agencies are investigating the deaths of more than a dozen horses. A warning, the photos you are about to see are graphic. The animals were found on Highway 13. Roosevelt County Sheriff's Office, Fort Peck Fish and Game, and Bureau of Indian Affairs are investigating the deaths. A Glasgow veterinarian has examined the carcasses. Authorities also found a dried up pond near the horses' bodies. So far, there's no word on how long the horses may have been there or who left them. Those against removing federal protections for Yellowstone grizzlies are issuing one final appeal before a key court hearing in Missoula this week. On Thursday, U.S. District Court Judge Dana Christensen will hear arguments in a combined lawsuit questioning whether the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service should be allowed to go through with plans to delist the grizzlies in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is turning over grizzly management to the states, with Wyoming and Idaho planning limited hunts for the big bears as soon as September 1st. At a Missoula press conference Tuesday, speakers like wildlife researcher Dr. David Mattson argued the recovery plan is flawed and based on out-of-state research which doesn't consider climate change.
The decision to delist prematurely was made on math, not science, not Dr. Mattson's science. not the science of climate change.
It's kind of crazy, you know, and I think what's really behind this is the dollars. The people want to make money on something, to kill the grizzly, endangering everybody. It's our fault that they're down below into our places. We're moving up higher into the mountains.
It's an ego-driven thing for domination over a species that deserves much better.
Opponents say delisting the bears threatens their recovery. Now in court news, the now 18-year-old former Missoula High School student who allegedly tried to run over a school resource officer and then led police on a high-speed chase will not serve any time behind bars. The teen was given a 5-year suspended sentence in Missoula District Court Tuesday. In July, the teen admitted to 4 of the 5 charges stemming from the incident at Big Sky High School back on March 24th. He is now declared a delinquent youth, will remain under probation, and must pay $8,000 in restitution to the car dealership he eventually crashed into. The 26-year-old Missoula man accused of striking and killing a 22-year-old graduate of the University of Montana now faces a new charge of vehicular homicide while under the influence. County prosecutors added the new charge after Daniel Grady's blood sample detected cocaine, Valium, and marijuana. Court documents state the test was conducted about 7.5 hours after the accident and had no alcohol present in the test, but video evidence at multiple bars shows Grady having multiple drinks throughout the night at different establishments around town. Grady is accused of striking and killing 22-year-old Rebecca Romero on the 17th of June. Grady is scheduled to appear for an omnibus hearing this afternoon. Here in Billings, the airport is one step closer to the start of construction on its terminal expansion project. Slatton Construction has been approved as the project's general contractor and construction manager. The company will begin its work now to assist in the design phase, and the project will go out for bids in the summer. The director of aviation and transit says a general contractor isn't usually needed this early in the game, but it's a necessity due to the complexity of the project.
It's really good to have them on board. What they'll start doing is starting to look at what the design team has already put in place, start analyzing what can be built, easily and what can't be built easily, ask questions, get the architect to kind of think things through a little bit.
The tarmac will also get a makeover thanks to a $300,000 grant from the Federal Aviation Administration. Heavy snowfall this past winter and the wet spring caused the tarmac's 20-year-old concrete to crack, which can be dangerous to aircraft. The grant will allow the airport to do design work, and construction will begin next year. And a correction to a story we first reported Tuesday morning. The Billings City Council did approve the contract with Geostabilization International. The nearly $379,000 contract was awarded to the company to clean up after a June rock slide left boulders scattered on the road. The cleanup is expected to begin in mid-September and is expected to take a couple of weeks. In health news, the U.S. is currently dealing with its highest numbers of reported sexually transmitted diseases nationwide. According to the Centers for Disease Control, nearly 2.3 million cases of syphilis, gonorrhea, and chlamydia were diagnosed in 2017. That's 200,000 more cases than the record set in 2016. Experts say the number of STD cases have increased 4 years in a row. Montana is one of the states where syphilis activity has grown over the past 2 years. According to the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services, between 2014 and 2016, Montana averaged about 1 reported case each month, but in 2017 and 2018, that rate has gone up to about 1 case a week on average. More adult women are contracting the disease, and that's a concern because syphilis can pose a serious risk for unborn children.
We want the rates to go down again. Like nationwide, we're concerned about the rate of STDs in Montana and want to get the word out about testing. Work with our local health departments on prevention activities so that we can reverse this trend.
Yellowstone County reported the most cases, 10 this year, followed by Missoula with 7. Syphilis can be treated with antibiotics. However, some damage done by the disease is permanent. And now in lighter news, the 3 orphaned grizzly cubs from Helena are adjusting well to their new Canadian home. The zoo where the bears now live released this video Tuesday showing the bears exploring their new habitat. They were rescued after their mother was hit on Highway 200 outside Lincoln. The 3 grizzly cubs were rehabbed in Helena from June to August, and they couldn't be released back into the wild, so they moved up into the zoo in Quebec.